So one of the things that you mentioned earlier was that performing a water fast is not recommended in your own house by yourself. Can you go into detail about why that's the case in type 1 diabetes and type 2 diabetes?
Very important question. Thank you, Cyrus. First of all, there's very few absolute contraindications for doing a water fast. There are certain people who should not water fast, and unfortunately, I have to say, the people with type 1 diabetes who just do not have any pancreas function, they should not do a water fast. They are going to get into trouble. All sorts of nasty metabolic things can happen. Blood sugars can either go way too high or way too low, and they can wind up in ketoacidosis fairly quickly. And so it's one of the contraindications we have to doing a water fast. Fortunately, the folks with type 1 diabetes is a relatively small percentage of the population, but if you happen to have it, then the incidence is 100%. But that's one tool that isn't available for folks with type 1 diabetes. For the folks with the type 2 diabetes, it's a very effective thing to do, but if you're otherwise healthy, most everybody can do a 3-day water fast at home. And we have people who frequently do for just from Friday to Monday to just drink water or just drink vegetable broth, which is just basically potassium in water. Absolutely reasonable. Most everybody, unless you're on medications. If you're not on any medications, but you're just overweight, got diabetes, your abnormal blood sugar, everybody can do a 3-day water fast at home. But if you're on medications that you can't stop, if you're on insulin, if you are on high blood pressure pills, etc., the problem is all these medicines on a water fast get potentiated. Their action becomes magnified tremendously. And people on high blood pressure pills, if they go on a water fast, their blood pressure is going to crash. And we stop everybody's blood pressure pills before they do a water fast. And we can do it because it's a safe place. We have doctors around. We're checking their blood pressure twice a day, and we watch them very carefully. But we stop all blood pressure medications. We stop insulin. We stop metformin. We stop all these, but we're sticking their finger every day, and we're washing them twice a day, and we watch these folks carefully. Because as the fast goes on, the body undergoes some changes. Blood pressures go down on a fast, and people can stand up and get really lightheaded, and some people can pass out, actually faint because the blood sinks out of their head there. Boy, you don't want to do this at home. Some people get nauseated, they start vomiting. Well, vomiting on a water fast, one of the worst things is you can't hold water down, and you wind up dehydrated with electrolyte imbalance, you wind up in the emergency room. So because of the fainting risk, the vomiting risk, all these things, we say 3 days is the limit. Everybody if they're relatively healthy, you can do a 3-day water fast at home. You want to do more than that. You need to get your blood pressure under control, your type 2 diabetes under control. Come to Tree North or any other fasting center and have a medically supervised fast. But 3 days should be the limit that anybody does at home on water. Now, we do juice cleanses where we bring them 4 big glasses of fresh vegetable juice at 9, noon, 3, and 5, and we have them just sip it during the day. And it's a lovely thing to do. And boy, day after day of these lovely phytonutrient-rich liquids flowing through your cells, it's a nourishing, cleansing thing to do. And that people can do at home. And you can do that for a good 4 or 5 days at home. But that's a cleanse. It's not a fast. You don't go into ketosis, and it's not quite the same as a water fast. But if people do like to do 5 days on juices at home, yeah, most people can do that without a problem.
Okay, got it. That's actually really helpful to know because, personally, I've heard of a couple of horror stories of people with type 1 diabetes in particular doing a fast for an extended period of time and then ending up, like you said, in diabetic ketoacidosis, going to the hospital and getting into some serious metabolic danger. So I'm glad you said that, actually.